How you doing, guys? Good night. Good evening. This is Rafael Cruz from Miami Strength Club, and I really want to talk about today how getting lean is easy. Getting lean is pretty easy. I've done it, and I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you how you can focus on getting lean. I want to tell you how to turn around some of the things that you might have been doing that are not helping you get lean. Now, let's start by talking about a few things. Uh, Number one, welcome tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time to join in. And this is going to be about 45 minutes to an hour. And a couple of things. If you have any questions, just put them on there. I really want to be paying attention to the chat, especially the chat on Instagram. I'll try to log in on my other platforms. I'm not too technically savvy. If you watch other streams, it's pretty cool. But once again, what you want to get out of this is information on how to turn around your training program and your nutrition to get lean. Definition: lean, lean. Don't think that lean means skinny. Lean does not mean skinny. Lean means lower body fat percentage. So let's start right there. Lower body fat percentage. For you to have a low body fat percentage, you have to measure it against something, which in my experience, that means more muscle. Give me a thumbs up, give me a text, give me a yes, a resound yes on the chat if you like more muscle. Do you like more muscle? I effing love more muscle. More muscle is good. I feel great. Helps me wake up in the morning. Uh, Keeps me just it just makes you look cool. Right there in the Instagram chat. Let me check it out. Do you like more muscle? That's the question. If you have more muscle, if you want to create more muscle, chances are that you're actually going to get leaner. And that is the experience of many people here in Miami Strength Club, and that is my experience. Now, to to get more muscle and to get lean, let's put some things in order, and that's the point. Let's put some things in order. You have to put your food, you have to put your workouts, you have to get a hold of your life in general. Like they say, there's a quote somewhere out there saying the quality of a life, it results from the quality of your relationships. So getting your life and your relationships in order will propel you to get just get more results. That's two. And then we got your health. Listen, I've been sick. There's For the last 3 years now, or not me for the last 3 years, but I have been sick, and since 2020, this whole pandemic thing, I think we all know what losing your health looks like. If not for yourself, for people around you, for a week, for two, for a month, it's not funny. You have to focus on your health, and let's start right there. Let's start right there on focusing on your health. Everything that you do, everything that you do, you experience it through your body. There's in this life, nothing in this life that you won't experience through your body. And if I'm gonna play devil's advocate, you're going to say, "Oh, you know what? I'm a very spiritual person." Great, but without your brain and without your mental health, which is part of your health, we're not only talking about the physical health, but also the mental health. Without your mental and physical health, the quality of your life and the outcomes and the quality of your outcomes are not as good as if you focus on your health. So let's start there. So check it out. First of all, if you're quite kind of young and you're not sleeping on purpose, if you're not sleeping on purpose because you're distracted with movies, with Netflix, I mean, I don't want to, bash Netflix. That's not the purpose of this. But if you're distracted from taking care of your health, Listen, doing that is not going to enhance your life. So visit your doctor, go to your therapist if it is something health, or buy a health a self-help book or 20. Speak with your family, get an intervention, you know get your shit together, essentially. Do that. I've done that in the past, especially the self-help and the meditation and retreats, whatever it takes. I've hired coaches, both business coaches, mentors, people that get me back on track, or that just plainly get me in track with if I've never been anywhere. You have to understand that your life, or the details in your life, are going to depend out of your general life. So focus on your health. Uh, with that said, let's talk about what you're here to listen. Number two. Sorry, let's talk about workouts. Let's understand something about workout. A workout, it's something that you do today. Where you want to go, which means your training or your training program, your training or program, it's composed out of many, many workouts. Some people are going to say 6 weeks. Some people are going to say 8 weeks. Some people are going to say 12 weeks, or so on and so forth. And there are different ways of talking about your training program and the aspects of your training program. But in general, you have to make sure that your workouts are quality. Quality. When you are working to get lean, and getting lean is simple, you want to burn a whole bunch of calories. How you burn a whole bunch of calories? Well, if you want to burn a whole bunch of calories and still work out to put muscle, we talked about that in at the beginning. Lean is not skinny. Lean means you have muscle, you're putting it on, you're doing the work to do that, and then you lower your body fat percentage. So check it out. You get your workout, and you do double, what do you call it, trisets, or supersets and trisets. A superset, we talked about that in another live stream. A superset is when you do one exercise, and then you go straight after that one to another exercise that works an opposite muscle group. For example, biceps and triceps. And you do a bicep exercise and a tricep exercise, and then you rest. You go from one to the other without rest, and then you rest. That's a superset. A tricep is when you go from one, two, three exercises without rest. It's almost like a mini circuit, and then you rest. That's really, really. Some people find that aggressive if you haven't, if you don't have the experience for that. Um, so it is towards, like, I don't know, the third, second month. It is for some beginners, but a lot of beginners cannot really handle that volume of work. Some will, some won't. Now, if you are right there to start, you can start planning at least two exercises back to back, and then you rest. This will make your workouts efficient. This will make you keep your heart rate and stimulate your metabolism. And from a workout standpoint, what you are going to do today, that will um, improve your capacity to get lean. Now, what about your capacity to make muscle? Well, that if it's heavy enough and you do enough reps for each exercise, each set, and each exercise and each set, if you do enough reps. For example, if you're working on bench press, you're going to do 5 sets, not counting your warm ups. Not counting your warm ups. You're going to do 5 working sets. That means the ones that are heavy, the ones that you get close and that you feel the fatigue on your muscles and whatnot. You're going to do, let's say, 8 to 10 reps, or 8 to 12 reps. Sometimes 15 reps if it's on the quite light side. Remember, You are working to burn calories as well. Uh, some people will, I tell you, some experts, some professionals will say there's other ways, or if you're thinking, I read somewhere or I heard somewhere that there are other ways. Yes, there are other ways. These are the ways that I'm suggesting that because of my experience and what I've done here at Miami Strength Club. So you do, let's say, middle range reps, 8 to 12 reps. This is not going to be giving you maximal strength gains, but it will be giving you a good, solid, what's called out there, pump. You're really going to get pump. You're going to fatigue your muscle. You're going to produce hypertrophic effects, especially when we combine it with the nutrition aspect. And we're going to get to that in a few minutes. So, by the way, if you have any questions so far, please let me know. I'm going to actually go now to the live stream on YouTube just to see if there's some kind of an audience there. Remember, um, YouTube streams are, or live streams in general, they are things that something that I have to manage. So I appreciate your patience here while I take care of all the audience. If you have some questions, please let me know. Write them down, or send me a DM if you don't feel like answering, or asking a question live. That's all fine. So we were talking about your sets and reps. You're going to do 5 to 6 work sets of any exercise. That means if you're doing that superset, you're going to pair, um, let's say, bench press, and you're going to pair shoulder press. That's a nice superset. Or you can pair bench press and something pull, a barbell row, a bent over row. Those are two different things. If you don't believe me, just look it up. Barbell row versus bent over row, or T row, some people call it as well. Look it up. So, bench press with a barbell row or some kind of pull for the back. It could be a dumbbell row as well. Those tend to work really well. Or you could do two pressing exercises, a bench press or declined, inclined bench press with a dips. Dips. You could use a dip machine just because it's lighter and it will allow you to go from one exercise to the other without fatiguing yourself too much, because you don't want to risk injury as well, or just gassing out before your workout is completely done. So you do want to um, calibrate your amount of work and the intensity meaning how heavy it is, with with the whole workout, with the amount of weight, so you can actually complete your program. And let me pause right there to say, completing your program, it's a must. It's part of the order that you are bringing into your training regime so that you can actually get lean. Many times, let's say I get this comment. I don't know if I'm gonna get through this. I My last meal was at 11 a.m. and it's 6 p.m. Oh Jesus Christ! That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, oh Jesus Christ, here we go again. When you're training, and here we kind of like do the segue into the nutritional aspect. When you are training, meaning when you have focused your energy and attention to completing workouts consistently, to completing quality workouts consistently for a number of weeks on end, you must think about your meals as part of the workout. There is no reworking that. There's no other way of saying it. The way you eat is as part of your workout as this 5 or 6 sets of 10 repetitions that you do in the gym. They go hand in hand. And some of you have heard I've heard it before. I have heard it before. What you eat or and how you eat it is 80% of your fitness outcome. Let's put it that way, or your fitness success. So when you are prepping, just take a notepad. I actually want to do this. I want to show you a couple of things. I'm not going to show you what, but I want to show you a notepad. I think many of you have forgotten the power of taking a piece of paper, taking a piece of paper, here we go, and taking a pen, and then writing something like 6 a.m., wake up, 6:05, wash and groom, 6:10, coffee and protein shake, 6:25, warm up at the gym or stretching or a guided meditation or yoga with you know my family members or at the place with the app with the application, wherever it is, so you can have a rundown of how your day is going to go and you're not reacting to how you're feeling. We wake up and we can sort of like predict a little bit, but we don't completely know how we're going to feel the next day, the very next day, right after waking up. So if you take a pen and paper, here we go for YouTube channel, pen and paper, and a little pen and a little pen. What's going to happen is that you're going to take your schedule, the schedule that you want to make, and you're going to write down everything that you're going to do for that day. And if you have to adjust something for tomorrow, you do it today. If you have to adjust something for tomorrow, you do it today. I was listening to something informational on YouTube the other day, and it said it was one of those self-help type of videos and whatnot. And he said something like, "You plan tomorrow, today, before lunch." I didn't make that up. I heard it on YouTube. I don't know from where, but I heard it on YouTube. You planned tomorrow, today, before lunch. So tomorrow, just before lunch, while I'm having lunch, I will take my pad and I will write my priorities based on my plan already. I already have a plan. I'm just talking about Thursday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, just before I have lunch, I'm going to sit down here and anticipate what Thursday is going to look like. And you can do that with not only with your life, but with your workout. When you come into Miami Strength Club, I give you a plan. We talk about your plan. We sit down. We go over what you need, how you're going to do it, why you should be doing X, Y, and Z. And then with your notepad, that I will also give you a notepad. The day that you work out, you can actually plan for the next workout. It is common sense. When you plan for the next workout, you already know how you are going to be feeling. No, I'm sorry, not how you're going to be feeling. You already know or can anticipate what you're going to need. So you're going to need to recover. You're going to, if you're one of those people like me whose hips are, don't move everywhere like other people's, I'm going to have to do some mobility, and no, it's not it's not a waste of time. Um, I believe in doing mobility and keeping my body in a position in which I can move for what I have to do, for what I have planned. So I'm going to keep doing my stretches, my yoga, my meditations, if that includes body work. If you've already planned for your workout tomorrow, you have an idea of, hey, you know what? I cannot really screw up my workout. So I don't have 6 scoops of protein left. Before I get home after the gym, let me pass by the shop and order my protein and order my supplements. Whatever gets you going that you need when you plan. And this is guys, this is don't tune out. This is part of the lifestyle that gets you lean. That's why I'm talking about it. If you want to have a six pack, you better plan ahead because it ain't just gonna happen. It is not just gonna happen, especially if you don't give up your whatever you're doing that got you to where you are in the first place. I don't want to be mean, but that's just how it is. If you're not as lean as you once were, and if you're not as lean as you want to be, even if you are lean already, if your body fat percent is not below 12, I don't think you cannot really consider that lean unless you're massive, huge in muscle. Somebody who's over 200 pounds at 15, 18% body fat is not going to look like super, super lean, but it's definitely going to look muscular and well put together without a gut, without love handles, without, with firmness throughout the body and whatnot. How do you get there? Well, you get there planning your food. You get there planning your nutrition, meaning your supplements. Your supplements. So once again, when you plan tomorrow, today, before lunch, you get to anticipate that, and that's a principle. So nothing that you should do tomorrow, training wise, should come out of left field for you, and that's an important thing to remember. Now, I want to check this out, and looking at my notes here. Let's talk about what happens when you actually do not eat the way you're supposed to. What is the way you're supposed to? You can go to your application store on Apple or Android or whatever you got. Go to your application store and get a calorie tracker, a calorie tracking app, or a nutrition app. There are big names like Count My Macros, something for keto dieting, something for, you know, you got it. You know what I'm talking about. Those things where you tell the information of what you want to do, and then it tells you how much calories you should be eating and water and stuff like that, so that you can actually so that you can be on caloric surplus or caloric deficit, depending on what. So go to the app store, or just take a pencil, paper, or whatever, however you take notes, and write it down. Once you put the information there, it's going to give you an idea or very specific numbers of how much calories you ought to eat. Number one, calories in general. That means that when you eat anything carbohydrate plus protein plus whatever that is considered fats, healthy fats or unhealthy fats or anything in between, whatever, plus whatever something else that many people consume as a lifestyle, as a part of their healthy lifestyle, which is alcohols. Some apps actually give you recommendations. The main recommendation is, if you're trying to lean out and have a clean workout or training program, try not to drink any alcohol or drink it in really moderation. But that's sort of the things that the application is going to tell you. You could come here at Miami Strength Club and we can have that conversation. But not to be too specific, because I don't want anybody to take my words as if it is specific recommendations for you. I don't want to do that. So go get the app, plug in the numbers, plug in your metrics, plug in your outcomes, what you want, what are your objectives, and it's going to tell you how much calories you're going to eat. It's going to tell you how much protein you're going to take, and then it's going to tell you how much carbohydrates you're going to need for your workouts. Uh, a an effective application, a well done application, is also going to ask you what kind of training you're doing and how many times a week you're training and how much rest you put, after between workouts. If you're an athlete or if you train 3 times a week, if you have a sedentary job, if you have an active job, these things are part of how you plan and how you strategize for how much you're going to eat. Every plan should tell you that you're going to have a protein intake high protein intake. I don't care if you're vegan. I don't care if you are a you know vegetable eater or something like that, or if you eat everything on the menu. You have to figure it out. That's part of you getting your life on track when it comes to actually getting lean. You have to figure it out where to get the protein from without exceeding your caloric numbers that you're supposed to have. For example, if you need to eat a whole bunch of garbanzos, chickpeas as part of your protein, well, you also have to understand that garbanzos have a high amount of carbohydrates. So if you need to hit, for example, 20 grams of protein for a meal, and a large part of that is garbanzos, because you your choices, and I respect that. I don't want you to misunderstand that, but your choices are plant-based protein and not meat or dairy or anything of that source. You're going to have to look into supplementation. It's in plant-based protein. I actually have a plan. I have a live stream planned around uh, vegans, not vegan, vegetables, or like what's called, organic proteins kind of thing. Things plant-based protein. Uh, excuse me. I have a live stream coming up to talk about that specifically. But if you eat only plant based, you have to supplement. It's it's almost invariable that you have to supplement. If it's vitamins, if it is vitamins, minerals, sometimes it is vitamin B12. Sometimes it is or any kind of vitamins IV. You're gonna have to get yourself a plant-based protein that has high profile amino acids so that you actually can actually get your system can assimilate and then synthesize from that protein what you need. uh, that's plant based. You might also have to supplement iron. People that strictly do plant based, not everybody. Before you jump out and say blah 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 or leave a comment here and there, not everybody. There are people that do fantastically, or there are people that also say that they do better on plant based, and that's fine. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that each particular choice comes with its set of benefits and extra needs that you're going to need to do. Um, Meat eaters, a lot of meat eaters have to actually watch out. If you eat a huge steak, you're gonna have to watch out for the quantity of salt you put on your steak. Some people will do well with extra salt. Some people don't do so well, and that goes back to your health. If you have a concern with high blood pressure based on family and whatnot, there are I've heard that there are studies that suggest that salt, it's not as um, detrimental as people have might thought, unless you have a predisposition for sodium to be harmful to you, and you can do your own research based on that. I'm not elaborating anymore on that. Um, but for example, when you eat a lot of meat, and I eat a lot of meat myself, I do have to watch out for the quantity of sodium. Sodium is also well known to affect the amount of hydration your body has, or what they call water retention. Uh, Bodybuilders are really really good at determining that. So you can go to a bodybuilder forum, a reputable bodybuilder forum. Just look it up for yourself and look it up. How sodium can affect your training and how lean you look. Most likely, you cannot look nicely pumped without any kind of sodium or electrolytes because sodium is one of the main electrolytes. So hydration is sodium dependent. Let me repeat that. Hydration is sodium dependent. Whether you intake it from food or you intake it from electrolyte beverages or you do IV if you have, the capacity for do that kind of thing or whatever. But I'm going sort of like vague and at the same time deep into the pain of when you choose one type of nutrition over the other, because that affects how you get lean. Now, the title of this live stream is Getting Lean is Easy. Let's go to the easy part. Recapping: food in order, workouts in order. You also plan ahead with food in mind. Your life, in order for you to make time to do workouts, to actually prep the food or buy the food that you're going to be ingesting, you're going to have to put your life in order. So if you are spending too much time on your own daydreaming about having a six pack but not putting the work to have a six pack, reset and then do. If you are not paying attention to your health, if you have, let's say, tooth pain and now you cannot chew your food, and then um, but you're eating so much food that you're not having proper digestion, and that's keeping you awake at night, and then you are being awake at night. It's preventing you from recovering for the next workout, and then you probably don't show up to the gym or you do not complete your training as your program is outlined. You're not in control. you know get your health to the best of your ability as soon as you can. Go check that tooth, get your health in order, visit your doctor so that your body can function optimally and you have a better outcome for your workouts. And then again, the easy part. The easy part. Let's check it out, guys. I recommend that everybody that can recover from 5 workouts a week, you plan for 5 workouts per week. If you're above the age of 40, you might need considerations of working out less days than that, especially the hard, long, 1.5 hour long, gruesome workouts where you're doing complex movements like squats, bench, barbell rows, chin ups, assisted chin ups, um, diamond push ups, plenty of direct core and abs exercises for like sit ups, planks, hand workouts, dynamic planking. You're doing 20 minutes of conditioning at the end. You might go home jogging and whatnot. You might take a jump rope, a jump rope for 15 minutes as well, so you can impact your metabolism. You have to keep moving. If you're over the age of 40, maybe you haven't been doing all of that already. If you don't have a history of doing that much workout, maybe your program needs to be different. Now, if you can start with 5 days, even 5 easy days, start with 5 easy days and get it going. Because the more time you spend at the gym working on your goals, the more success you're going to have. The more likely for success you're going to have. So let's begin with the frequency. The frequency of your workouts are going to be 5 days. As I mentioned, you need to figure out how to recover. Recovery means how you get exhausted at the gym, you go home, You have to work. You have to take care of business. You have to take care of this. You have to put time, quality time with your family and your significant and your relationships. And you also have to build yourself up from other, aspects, such as your education, such as whatever, seats your curiosity, and self improvement. Let's put it that way. Other than that, the gym, and you do all that. That means that you still have a life. Being a gym fanatic or being really focused at the gym doesn't mean that you don't have a life. So you put your workout today, you go have your life, you come back to the gym. How many hours later? Is it going to be 12 hours later? Is it going to be 18 hours later? Is it going to be a solid 24 hours later? Well, you're going to have to figure that out, because that influences your performance. Maybe not in the first three workouts, but towards the end of the week, your body starts to feel it. You begin to accumulate fatigue. You might feel like your bones and your joints are a little bit achy. They speak to you, or if and when you go all the way down or all the way up to an exercise. What I mean by all the way down and all the way up, in a more technical term, is when you use big range of motion for your joints. You might feel that at the end, or at the extremes of the range of motion, your joints feel achy, or they have a sensation there. Like if I squeeze my tricep really hard, and I've been working uh, my triceps for 6 weeks in a row, very hard. Now it's like, there's a little thing there. A lot of people experience that. Um, so you are going to have to figure out the frequency of your workout every day, and also how far apart in hours. How far apart in hours is going to dictate the the amount of calories, the amount of protein that you put in. And you also have to figure it out once you do the the workout, once you target that your body functions also require an amount of energy that you have to, let's say, calculate. You know what? My basal metabolic rate. My body, let's say, consumes about 2,800 calories. I need 2,800 calories just to stay the way I am. So that's also another factor, that application that I mentioned, the nutrition tracker or whatever you're going to use to get your macros. That's also going to tell you that your basal metabolic rate. Basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories that your body consumes just to do what it does, without you're not really at that is not really going to give you much muscle growth unless you're a pure beginner, and that's not going to make you lose weight either. That's just the basic. Once you figure out your basal metabolic rate, and you take the factors of that I've been talking about, you're going to put the extra calories, up, or you're going to subtract the calories off, so that you can actually be in metabolic, you know with your metabolic function actually activate, so you can lose body fat percentage, and you can, you know gain muscle. I know that sounds a little bit contradictory, but there is a way to maintain or create muscle if you are at basal metabolic rate or a little bit on surplus. You're going to be fine. If you need to lose plenty of weight, you're going to have to knock it down. I suggest you look into your apps for very specific numbers. If you have any specific question, let me actually uh, go here. I'm going to get a little bit off the frame, or different frame here. I don't see any questions, but I appreciate your audience here. But if you have any questions, we have about 20 minutes left, and I think it's plenty of time for you to ask any specific question. Guys, I'm here. I'm putting the time. You're here. You're putting the time. You might as well, uh, if you're curious about something specific for you, I'll try to answer that as specific as I can. So uh, go ahead and ask your question or leave your comments. I know. So you have your best. Let me go back. You have your basal metabolic rate, and now you know what is the amount of calories that you need. On the easy part also is that you have to stay on it. Well, not the easy part, the simple part. The simple part. Let's get down to something. I'm gonna go off script here. Let's get down to basics. If you're not on executing a plan, it ain't gonna happen. Or at the very least, if it happens, you don't know how it happened. And I mean the six pack that you're looking, the firmness in your arms, getting your shoulders in shape so that you can go to the wedding that you're planning to go in Cancun in a few days, or not in a few days, in a few weeks or in a few months, to get the definition on your legs and just below the waist in the place that matter to you so that you can sport that swimming wear that you've been looking in the catalog for, that thing that you have on Amazon on the cart, but you don't fit there yet. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that these are the scenarios that people that you get motivated for. I have a jacket, a sports jacket in my closet. It's a corduroy sports jacket. It's a blue, it's a navy blue one. I don't fit in it for years. I still keep it because on my journey to getting lean, excuse me, on my journey to getting lean, that's one of my carrots. We all used things like that. So let's go back to this. If you're not executing a plan, and each plan, everything that you're gonna need in life, if you have a plan, you need a why. You need a powerful reason why you're going to do this. Why? Ask yourself, why do you want to get lean? What does it mean to you to work to pack on muscle and then work, or at the same time you packing on muscle and you are also getting rid of your body fat excess. Body fat excess varies for different people, but if you want to be lean, I would say that 15% and below can be lean depending on how much muscle you have. If you have little muscle, you need a lower body fat percentage. If you have more muscle, you can wiggle around between 13 and 15 body fat percentage and still look pretty amazing. Some people won't like that, or there's what some people like and what other people don't like. I'm not here to for you to share, my opinion. You don't have to share my opinion. I think that people under 20 fat, I'm sorry, under 20% body fat are can be super healthy and and look amazing and feel great and perform amazing, both outdoors and indoors. Um, there are some let's just say there are some perceived risks about switching body fat percentage too fast, both for men and female. Um, and let's go into that just as a point of information, and that goes to the plan. If you're not executing your plan, if you have a nutrition plan and then you go to the extreme of, you know what, I'm not going to eat, and let's say you are getting successful, dropping the weight, but maybe the weight is dropping too fast. Hey, your endocrine system is going to respond, and the levels of your hormones and the way your body feels and the way you perform indoors and outdoors. And when I mean indoor, I mean intimately. I mean intimately, which is a huge part of quality of life. Uh, Libido has to do a lot with how you're regulating your body fat in your body. You can look it up. I don't want to go in detailing, with that, and I shouldn't. But you can look it up. People that drop weight quite fast, and if you go into the very low body fat percentage, there are cases of people losing sex drive and losing libido, both men and women. Um, and that's I think that's well known and well documented. So part of keeping the plan is to get what you want, but still be helpful and still have the quality of life that you are focusing on. So that's why I'm talking about all these aspects. Um, with that said, the plan, guys, the plan. Seek the guidance from the an application. You can go there, an application. You can go to the website of someone you trust. You can consult a professional. You can consult your uncle or your auntie who did it. Anybody who you trust, and you can ask that. It's going to give you reliable information that is going to be good for you, and it's going to give you things in context, not just because a magazine says, um, you know, lose 20 pounds in 20 days because somebody else did it, and applause for that. But that's not necessarily the best contextual advice for you. Uh, but nonetheless, if you need guidance, seek the guidance so that you can establish a plan. The plan should have 3 to 5 workouts per week. The plan should have a step by step, time by time of the day, meal by meal, especially if you're not experienced into following a plan. You need that level of detail. Uh, when you wake up, when you wash your face and refreshing yourself, when you do your meditation, before you kickstart the rest of the thing, or if you just drive to the gym and get it going, what are you going to have in the way to the gym? Some people say, "Oh no, I don't like eating in the morning." Well, that might not be the best thing for you, if you want to get lean. Maybe you want to have a protein shake, and or a banana, or half a banana, or a spoon of uh, peanut butter, or something that you're not allergic to, or Greek yogurt with a couple of peaches, or a Gatorade. A cup of Gatorade will give you um, just enough energy to complete a cardio workout. A electrolyte drink or an energy drink should give you just enough energy for you to feel energized. You wake up, you get some focus. um, do not discount that your brain needs energy to focus. There's a lot of glucose, sugars that go into brain function, and there are both food, regular food, and supplements that can help you do that. So if you're somebody who struggles getting up to work out in the morning, look into some supplementation, or just look into eating a freaking peach in the morning and get over your feelings of I cannot hold or I cannot eat anything in the morning. You know, if your workout calls for it, eat it. That's part of the plan. That's why I say it's easy, because everything that you need to know to get lean, it's already there for you to learn. So from that part is easy, and it can be simple. It can be simple. One suggestion that I heard lately, it might have been from the good doctors at Barbell Medicine. I think maybe not, but I'll say it nonetheless. If you start walking 10 to 15 minutes after each meal, that means breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has a huge impact in the amount of glucose that you have in your bloodstream post post a meal, which in turn means that your pancreas, your insulin, your digestion is going to optimize for fat loss, specifically for fat loss, because that doesn't mean you have to be in caloric deficit. It just means that what you are doing after you eat is signaling to your body that your blood your bloodstream is not going to be overly rich with glucose, um, and that in turn affects the way you store fats, or that, or more importantly, or more specifically, the way that your body starts not storing excess glucose because you already burned it by doing that 10 to 15-minute walk, not storing fats. I think that's a powerful, tool to have, if you have the discipline, if you have the desire, if you want to be lean more than what you care for sitting down on the sofa watching another 15 minutes of X, Y, and Z on your phone or streaming on TV. I think that's a very powerful tool. Eat, get up, and you have to work it out in your life. But eat, get up, and walk 10 to 15 minutes. I have been trying to do that. I've done it the last 2 weeks, maybe two, 3 times in the last 2 weeks. That's not enough to feel anything, but I am incorporating that slowly into my lifestyle because it takes a while. Personally, if you have to balance chores before and after a meal, if you have to balance the chores, guess what? Just taking 10 to 15 minutes uh, without working that in somehow and getting everything else done is going to throw you out of balance. And then following the plan that you already had, it it's going to be more difficult unless you just ditch something else. And you are the master of your own life, so you can make your own priorities. But I do suggest that. I think that's a powerful tool. You can walk 10 to 15 minutes after each meal, and that should curve your metabolism enough so that your body fat percentage start dipping. One of the last things I wanted to uh, talk about. We have 5 minutes or so just until the end of the live stream. Is how do you track whether you are getting lean or not? If you're just beginning, if you're not doing anything to be lean and you're just going to start now, I hope the information that you're listening to tonight helps. But do yourself a favor, get yourself a scale, a weight scale that has body fat percentage measurement. Go on YouTube. I recommend you go on YouTube and you watch a few reviews. Go on your store of choice. Amazon, it's well known for having robust review systems, and I personally have had great experiences by following what other people have said. It's going to take you some time. You're going to have to click on the 5-star reviews. You're going to have to click on the 3-star reviews, read a few. You're going to have to click on the 1-star reviews and read a few. Um, so it's going to take your time to find a product, a weight scale that also takes body fat percentage that has good reviews. It's going to take you, but you can find it. You can really find it. I personally, apologies, I personally use a brand called Renfo with a H in the name, Renfo or Renpo. I don't know how you pronounce that, Renpo or Renfo. I bought it a few years ago. It does the job. It is very consistent with the readings, both my body weight and my body fat percentages. Um, and I got it just like that. So that's how you start tracking, especially if you're just beginning. Get a weight scale, and you want to get there periodically. At least I would say at least every couple of weeks if you are at the beginning of the plan, and if you are towards the middle of the plan, probably a little bit more frequency, maybe once a week. Because in my personal experience, when I get below 12% body fat, um, if I personally, that's my personal experience, if I veer off from my plan, I go to 11 quickly just because I tend to put on weight easier than I tend to lose it. I'm not a hard gainer. I actually put on mass quite easily. That has been my life experience. Maybe at 43 years of age that I am now, if I try to put on another 20 pounds of muscle, maybe it is going to give me more of a hard time than I used to be. But in general, there are, just like me, some of you that are easy gainers, some people that lose body fat percent and gain body fat percent kind of like equally, and some of you that are um, hard gainers, as I call. So if you're a hard gainer and you have been in the plan, uh, r- for short, I suggest that you go on the scale maybe weekly, just so that you can learn, and you can learn your trends. You can actually learn to anticipate. When you lose a pound, sort of like the the range. Everybody has like a body weight range. I can wake up 2 pounds heavier or 2 pounds lighter if I'm not trying to lose any weight, if I'm not trying to go leaner. When I'm trying to go leaner, I expect that every 3 days I am dropping a pound or so in a very that is a very moderate weight drop every 3 days for me at 230 plus pounds. Losing a pound every 3 days is a very moderate, very healthy. Nothing is going to get skewed up, for me. So if you're a hard gainer, get on the scale at the beginning, with more frequency, just so that you know you are on the right track. If you lose or gain sort of like equally, uh, the frequency for you might be, weekly to bi-weekly. Just get on there. Once you have a good idea of that you're tracking down, just keep doing what you're doing and fine tune. You should be okay. If you're a easy gainer, or it takes a lot of effort for you to lose body fat, uh, then you want to track weekly as well. In some cases, I've tracked, sometimes twice a week for some people. Um, it is it is useful for the person doing the tracking, so long as you're not going to um, lose objective, reasoning, and then veer off the plan. Because if you think that you haven't lost any body fat percentage or any weight, and those go hand in hand, uh, in a couple of days, that maybe you have to start, to do something extreme like not eat in the next 2 days, well, then you're not doing the plan. So for some people, it's not really healthy psychologically to step on the weight um, too often. If you're one of those people, take that in account. Maybe you can get somebody involved in your measuring, a personal trainer, a family member, somebody who's going to support you in your journey. In closing, I think the information that I've shared tonight is going to help you make the choices. The choices are easy. What you have to do, the complicated part, is sticking to it. But you can choose to lose a salad today. You can choose to eat clean today. You can choose to put out the ice cream on the side today. You can choose to actually heat the grams of protein and take your supplementation today. What most people find hard is staying on track, following the plan, consistency. Getting lean is easy. Stay with the plan. Stay with the plan. I am here to help. My name is Rafael Cruz from Miami Strength Club. I really, really appreciate you staying, the time, putting in the time to listen to this live stream. This should be on on YouTube. This should be on Facebook, and it should be on Instagram by the end. By the time it's done, uh, feel free to come back and take a look at it. Uh, Write the comments. I will check on the comments. My following is rather small, guys. I have started doing this live streaming just because I feel that And I think I know that for a fact because people come here in the gym and ask me. But I know there are people with questions to which I can have some answers, some guidance. I can be helpful, and that's my main motivation. I don't have any plugins. I haven't tried to sell you anything. I'm just trying to do. I'm doing this so that any of you who's listening can find any kind of information, anything that is helpful to get to your objectives, because it is important. Accomplishing what you want to accomplish is important for you and the people around you and the community at large. Um, if you find this helpful, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can go to YouTube and search Miami Strength Club, and you'll find it there with the red logo. You can leave likes here, comment, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. It will help so that many more people like you can get to this information. Share. My phone number is 954-756-3523. I am available for you. If you call me, text me, reach out. Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Bye bye.